The following explores the very real, hard-hitting social issues around knife crime, violence and gang culture.
Yeah, so after I came out of prison, I then became a victim of knife crime. He stabbed me in my face and then ran off and left me to die.
If you want a reason not to get involved in the streets, it's right here.
So my name is Mark Bracewell. I was born in Manchester in 1977. I grew up on a place called Gooch Estate in Moss Side, which was not a nice place.
If you drive into Manchester on the main route from the south, you can't miss Moss Side. It's an unremarkable paper chain of flats, houses, streets and wasteland.
I did receive love within my childhood. My mum loved me very, very much. There's no doubt about that. But I would spend a lot of time on the streets. Yeah, so this is the estate where I used to hang around as a teenager, basically. A lot of it's changed now from what it was before. You couldn't drive through it. It was all dead ends, and this path just behind me here is where we used to meet all our customers when we used to sell drugs and things like that, you know? But they've given the facelift and made it look good from the outside, but ultimately it's the same houses. It's still filled with people that are struggling on a day-to-day basis because the people that are around here don't get shown how to get out of here. If you live in a country that rains every day, it doesn't affect you because you're used to it raining every day. We didn't realise that there was somewhere that the sun shined every day. Do you know what? It feels good because I made it. Not good because I made it out of this area, but good because I made it out alive. Because there's a lot of people that didn't, whether that be physically dead or spending a long time in prison. They were definitely not a safe place to be. I witnessed my first murder at the age of 11, which obviously is something that no child should have to witness. There used to be a takeaway here, and we used to come here as kids to get our steak dinner and our patties and stuff like that. I was with my 14-year-old friend earlier that day. The next thing I heard on the news at 10 was that he had been shot and murdered. Before you know it, one of your best mates is getting stabbed or getting shot or getting kidnapped and getting beaten. They become your family. It's a vicious circle. It was just back and forth, back and forth. And one day I went out and committed an armed robbery with a knife. I didn't use it on my victim, but I showed it him and scared him with the knife. I was sentenced to 7 years, 7 months in prison. Knife crime is on an increase, and I don't see it coming down anytime soon. It's something that began before I was involved, and it's something that's still going on to today. People are fighting over stuff that they don't even know what they're fighting for. If I'm being honest, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so after I came out of prison, I then became a victim of knife crime. It was on a night out, and it was someone that I was with. They got into an altercation with someone else, and because I was too scared of what that person would think of me if I didn't jump in and help, I jumped in and helped. And then within that moment, the person who was on the opposite side decided to pull out a knife. He stabbed me in my face, and the knife went in here, above my eyebrow, and went through my eye, severed my optic nerve, shattered my cheekbone. And then he pulled it out, shoved it in my neck, and then ran off and left me to die. Everybody was running around screaming, panicking, and in that moment, I cried out to the only thing I knew at that time could possibly help me. And I said, please God, I don't want to die. And some people laugh at me when I tell them this, but as clear as you can hear me now, I heard him say, you're not gonna die, I just need you to see. And in that moment, everything just became calm and everything became still. And actually, I took control of the situation and I was telling everyone else to calm down, it's okay. Someone said they're gonna phone an ambulance, and I said, don't phone an ambulance, because if I wait for an ambulance, I'll die. And he drove me to the hospital, and then I walked into the A&E, and he took me straight into surgery. The next thing I remember is waking up in immense pain, and I just felt alone and I felt scared. I had a lot of time to reflect on the decisions that I'd made in life and ultimately the decision that had put me into that hospital bed. So I guess I've managed to use me being a victim of a knife crime to fulfill the purpose that I've been put here for, which is to educate not just youngsters, but educate society on a whole. There's things that are going on that nobody wants to talk about or nobody feels brave enough to talk about. So that's what I did. I started Blindy Faith, where I was going to help kids because ultimately that's going to stop them going through the things that I went through. I don't want to be the cure for something that I can prevent. Good afternoon, everyone. So, what I'm about to deliver is something that I put together because we were getting asked to go to schools and speak about knife crime, and I felt that we were missing a trick. Yeah, there's knife crime, and yeah, there's people that are carrying knives and things like that, but there's reasons behind it, and what is them reasons? And we need to tackle that first. It doesn't just affect us as the person who carries a knife, it affects other people. A lot of the children that I deal with are in situations that they believe they can never get out of. They believe that they're never going to be anybody or amount to anything, which is a lie. Every single one of them has a purpose on this planet. But I also teach the kids that their actions has consequences and that the choices that they make don't just affect them, they affect other people.
I've grown up around knife crime, and I was lucky I came out unscathed, but I know people that didn't. You know, I know people that carry knives, I know people that have been stabbed. You know, it's an unfortunate circumstance of where we grew up. The Felix and DeMarcus storyline was a tough one. It was to do with knife crime. It was to do with DeMarcus being accused of a crime that he didn't commit, the unfortunate stabbing and killing of a police officer. We later found out who the actual culprit was, but it was to do with DeMarcus being victimized because of his color.
I'm not coming to you as a policeman. I'm coming to you as a black man who's worried about a young black boy carrying a knife. Soon as you put that blade in your pocket, all they're gonna see is another black criminal.
But it also dealt with the many different aspects as to why the younger generation could be carrying knives, and not to just brandish them as like just wrong-uns and they want to be out here committing crimes. A lot of them don't want to. Sometimes it's the environment in which they live that kind of creates that circumstance. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, brother.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, man, no, take a seat in my ends. No, do you know what? First of all, right, thanks for meeting me. I know your story. This sounds crazy, but we come from the same place, just geographically different parts of the country. Where are you taking us? Because I know this is your ends.
Yeah, so where we are now, this is the estate. This is where I learnt my trade.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what I learnt then set me up for what I do now.
Okay.
You know? Because everything you go through in life, you can use it for either for negative or for positive.
But what do you think was the thing that made you choose that life from the circumstances you came from?
No aspirations. Words are a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And when you're told you're no good and you ain't gonna be anything, eventually it sinks in and you just think, well, this is what I know, this is what I'm gonna do. Let's try and make some money and try and make it out. Even though you know the risk involves. And it's not as simple as like just, you might get locked up, you might go to prison. There's a chance that you might die.
Yeah.
Because ultimately the world that you're in, that's what happens. When I carried a knife as a youngster, as a teenager, I was carrying it because I was scared. At that time, I believed there was no one that I could talk to, which I don't think was the case. I just wasn't made aware that there was people out there that I could speak to, that there was people out there I could have got help from.
What do you think it is for you and for the young kids growing up that make them look at those kind of eventualities, as horrible as they are, but still say, I still want to go in there?
I'd say it's exactly the same as someone going to the shop and buying a lottery ticket.
Okay.
Because basically, the chances of you winning are millions to one, but you do it because you might win.
This is not a game. This is how people get killed. You don't walk out with a knife just because some public schoolboy upset you.
It was making my life a misery. Look, I know I shouldn't have, but...
What do you think was the thing that made you go, number one, for me, I'm out, but two, instead of walking away from it, I'm gonna go back and now start pulling people out?
Yeah. I was in a police cell, only for something small, and I remember sitting there and I was like, do you know what? I've had enough.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I made a promise to myself that things were going to change. So I guess in changing my life, it then gave me the ability to see how much of an impact I can actually have on other people's lives. We have installed in our society that it is wrong to speak out. And we need that to change. We need to get the children to understand that the person that speaks out is actually the person up here. They're the person that right. They're the person that everybody should be giving the props to. If we speak out as a society, we come together in a whole and let people know that that's the right thing to do, then the more people will do it, I suppose. Like I say, as I started doing the small things, it started changing big things. So I've gone from, in a year and a half, there being just me, to being over nearly 50 of us now. Yeah, so I've just had a call from social care, and they've asked us if we can staff a 14-year-old boy. Okay, all right. Yeah, so I get phone calls daily asking, can I house children that are either been removed from home for whatever reason, or their placement has broken down. So it's a constant, it's a constant gripe, because we have to say no. We have to say no. Every day I have to say no. Some days we're lucky enough to be in a position where we can say yeah. What people don't realise is the people that are on the streets, they have got an amazing skill set. Everything that I do now, I didn't go college. I finished school, but I didn't go college.
Yeah.
Everything that I've learned and everything that I know now, I learned on the streets. It was good education, just in the wrong setting.
And that's why I'm glad you said it, because I don't want people to think that we're condoning the behaviour, because we're not. What we're saying is that these same kids that you will point the finger at, they've got the mentality that if you put it in the right direction, they would become entrepreneurs. And you know what, you're seeing them. You see a lot of young guys up from the road, they now do clothing lines and do things like that, but you don't know that they used to be out here.
Yeah, I guess I just decided that I wanted to be a person who can help them navigate through life and through life's ups and downs to help them make the right choices. And ultimately, there's no such thing as a bad kid. There's just a kid that makes bad choices, and let them know that it was okay to make mistakes and that we can always bounce back from it.
My final question to you, sir. The hope for the future, what do you think it is for you? What do you think it is for your community? What do you ideally want to see?
I want to see that everybody has an equal opportunity and everyone has an equal chance to make it in life and to make it off the streets, so to speak, you know?
Yeah.
This is the hood, this is the ghetto, what we call it, that the name that it was given.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's a community, and there's kids on here that have real lives and that need the same opportunities that you might get 2 miles down the road. Dialogue is very important. We need to be communicating between all of us. All agencies need to be communicating, whether that's the police, whether that's school, whether that's social care, social media, or on TV, or wherever it is. We need to be coming together and coming up with a solution, and we can only do that by talking to one another. I guess that's why we do what we do, is to show the kids that, yeah, you might make a few mistakes, but ultimately, you can still make it, can still sit in the same arena of people that have never even been around here, and they've just drove past it on the main road.
Yeah.
You know, and just looked down on it. Yeah, they've never turned in and seen what actually goes on. You know, there's human beings here that deserve exactly the same as what they get down the road.
If you come out in your environment and you see lawyers, doctors, people like that walking past you, that's your aspiration. But if you come outside and you see people out here doing crud, then you don't know any different. You think, oh, well, that's what I need to do. So we need to change those circumstances.
Cheers.
Come on.
Yeah, man. A caterpillar isn't very attractive. A caterpillar doesn't move very fast. A caterpillar is bird food. Who wants to be a caterpillar? I guess there's always times in our lives where we might sit in that caterpillar moment, but ultimately, that's not where you're going to stay forever, because caterpillars become butterflies, one of the most beautiful things on the planet that float around and flutter around like they ain't got a care in the world. So I guess what I'm saying within that is, it's never too late to change. I'm not saying that when you get to the point in life where I got to, and I stopped making the same mistakes that I kept on making over and over again, like carrying knives, like being around people with knives, and then ultimately being stabbed with a knife. I just realized that wasn't benefiting anybody, and it most certainly wasn't benefiting me. Now I go out of my way to make other people's lives better, and within me doing that, it makes my life better. I just want everybody to know that you can be all you're meant to be. Doesn't matter what mistakes you've made in the past. Yous are all saviors in the making. Yeah.